Good evening and welcome to ITM 387E, Mobile Commerce and Mobile Apps Development. My name is Davis and I'm a student in Dr. Halverson's Mobile App Development class. For this video, what we'll be doing is creating a mobile weather app on Apri.io. If you go to the ITM 387E.info website and click on the assignments link, you can see that this is the, the third assignment. All you need to do is click on the instructions, and there's a tutorial. It'll walk you through how to build the mobile app. What I'm going to do is follow these instructions and develop this app from scratch. So what you have to do first is log in to your Apri.io account with your username and password. And when you're ready, click Create New App right here. And we're going to name it Weather App. Create. Now, you maybe already have an app, your assignments app, and you're just creating a new page. So in that case, instead of the start screen, you just name your start screen weather app, because that would be like your sub app sort of. So when we're ready, we're going to expand the pages and begin. So right now what I'm going to do, I've expanded the pages folder and I'm going to click on start screen. And then you can see the caption. What we're going to do is label at the top. And earlier in the last video for assignment 2, we worked on creating the links between the individual assignment pages and the home menu page. So I'm going to leave that out of these videos. It's just going to be how to make the individual apps, and if anything we can work on like linking them later. It's probably easier to test that way. So by clicking on the caption, we can change it using the text right here, the text option. We can change it to weather space app. Okay, and then what we need to do is go over to the palette on the left side and drag and drop a label component. So let's locate a label component right here, and we'll just drop it in the front on the top. And then we go over here to change the label text to zip code, and drag and drop an input control. So we'll take that, drop an input control right there. Right below the zip code, and delete its label. So we're just going to delete the label. And because we're going to be referencing this input, we want to leave the name as something that's easily recognizable. So instead of mobile text input, we're going to change the name to zip code input and clear the text field. So now what you should have is leave the other defaults and just zip code and an input field. Now your tab index may be more than one. I noticed that when I was creating my original app, it's because you have multiple apps in the same app, multiple pages. So it's okay if it's 2 or another number. Okay, let's move on. The next step is to drag and drop a button component. So we click on that and drag and drop a button component. And we want to change the label or the text to get weather. So we have zip code, input, and get weather. The next step, according to the instructions, say we can change the spacing between each component. And that's to give it a little more room. And that's if you want to. We go to the properties and change the margin property, which is, you scroll down here. You can change these numbers, but I kind of like it just the way it is. Simple. Okay, so what we have to do in the next step is one moment. Create the UI for displaying the results. So what this is basically is we're going to enter some information here, and we're going to get the weather, and it's going to display it over here. The display is going to be the temperature and the image. So we drag and drop a label component below the button, like so. And it's always good practice to save periodically. And we're going to delete its label text right here. And because we're going to be referencing it, the instructions want us to rename the mobile label. So rename this right here. We can call it temperature. Okay. So basically we've removed the text, left the other defaults, changed the name, left it visible. Yep, everything else looks good. And the last thing we need for the user interface or the UI is a image. So we go to the palette on the left, select image and drag and drop. In the properties, change its default name to icon. So we delete the name, just type icon. And leave the other defaults. Oh, there's one other thing we have to change. This visible checkbox, we want to uncheck the visible property checkbox like that. So as you can see, when you check it, there's an image. By default, when you uncheck it, it's blank. But when it gets the information from the service, then it puts a different picture in each time. We want to leave the other defaults. Excellent. So we have our zip code field at the top, an input box, a get weather, and this will display the temperature and an icon. Now to test it, we can click test if you'd like, or we can test it at the very end. Now if you're working with your full-blown app with all your apps and has a home page, when you click on test, it's going to take you to your default home page, and then in order to see everything, you have to have all the buttons linked up. So you may want to go ahead and link, according to that, I think the video for assignment 2, link all your pages up first. Then when you test it, you can go through from the home page to the app. But if you follow these instructions, pretty much verbatim, then you can get all the way to the end and then test it. And it should work. So I'm going to move on for now. I'm going to actually make sure this is public and then click test later. Okay, the next thing we have to do is store an API key in the database. So we'll need to create the database where the key will be stored. To do this, we open the database button. I have backend services and I don't have database. So what I'm going to do is save it. You should have a database link right here. If not, you can save and then click close. And then you can go to databases from the main homepage. Either way will take you to the same place. So I'm going to click on databases. And want to create a new database. The title will be Secure DB and click create. What we want to do is click create new collection, and the name of our collection will be secret. Let me move that down. Secret keys using camelback notation, and click add. Then we're going to click plus column right here, plus COL, and it's going to be called key name, and click create column. And we want it as string, so it's key name string as the type. And what we have to add one more column, so we'll go plus column, and we're going to call it secret value. And we want to leave this as string also, create column. And now we have to enter our data. So to enter the data, we click plus row, and add for the key name, add weather, call it weather key. And for the secret value, we have to enter the API key. And in order to do this, we have to register for an account. So what I'm going to do is leave this right now and go to the instructions. If you go to the instructions and you scroll down, it shows that you have to sign up for an account. So I'll go ahead and do that. What we're doing is signing up for a weather account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the other screen. I'm going to put it over here so you can see it. So this is the instructions basically. This is if you go to the assignments page. So this was on my other monitor, I moved it over. If you go to the instructions for mobile weather app, and then you scroll down, you could have designed or got the key first, the special API key from World Weather Online first. Either way is fine. I'm going to do it this way, so I'm going to go down to where we were. I've been following the instructions. And let's see, it's right here. So over here, after you've added the row, it says for secret value, enter your API key. So get a free API key here. So we click on that. And Let's see. Let's look for where we register. Here, we can free sign up over here. We click on this at the very bottom. And it asks to register socially or register manually. So what I did was register manually. I'll type in my email. And let's see which one I used. I think I used my Hotmail account. I'll try my hawaii.edu account. And then I'll type my name. And a password I came up with. Let's see. And click register. And it says it already registered that user, so I'm going to use a different email. And a password. Register. Okay, so I have to check my inbox for an email that I sent. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check that. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, so I'm checking it on my mobile device, my phone, but when you check your email, it's gonna take you to a link. You click on the link and it'll automatically take you to your account, and then you can choose either the free weather API version 2 or the premium weather API. I've tried this already and the free weather API works. So all you do is you click get new key. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it says to register, it asks you for what is the name of your application. So I'm going to type in weather app. And the web address you don't have to include, and you can describe that it's to create a weather app. Okay, and then click Save Changes. And it has it out there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to log in so you can see what the key is. I'm going to close this and then I'm going to open this again. I'm going to scroll up to show you how you can use the functionality from here. Right here. So it's the same link. It takes you to the page. But since I already have, I'm going to log out. Okay, so I'm going to log in with my password, my username and password, and then log in. So as you can see, here is the key I signed up for. All you have to do is highlight it and press copy, Control C, and then go back to your app. Let's see, I'm gonna move this back to the top page, leave it up there, and we're gonna paste it right in there. The next step we have to do is create a proxy channel. And let's see how much longer this is, because if I break the video into 2 parts, I think we can get through the second part. Let me check the time really fast. Okay, we're at about 20 minutes. Let me just get through this next step. So after we've created the secret value string right there, we have to create the proxy channel. So we can just leave this information here, and then we want to switch to the secure proxy tab to create a proxy channel. And then we click create new proxy over here, and the name is secure proxy. Click create. So the channel that we created will open the default settings. Instead of using the default proxy, as you can see over here, the instructions want us to check the use proxy plus store sensitive private data. And you can read over here a little bit more about what that does. It's pretty interesting. What we want to do next is, wait one moment. We want to select the needed parameters and then click save. So we can click save up here, and that saves our work. And then we can change these. We have to select menus from the drop down. This has to be secure DB for the database. The collection has to be secret keys. The key column is key name, and the value column is secret value. Not select value, it's secret value. Okay, so it looks just like that. And then we click save. So save right here. Okay. It says the proxy ID is a unique value, so if you scroll up here, this is the proxy ID right here, and is used to define the proxy channel in the app. Copy it and save it. You'll need it later. So you can highlight it and then copy, Control C, and then open, let's see, like Notepad, and then paste it. So I'll bring that down here, Control V, just in case we need it later. So that's saved. I'm going to minimize that. Okay. The next step is defining the REST service. So what I'm going to do is end this video, and then I'll start up the next video with defining the REST service and finishing up this app. Thank you very much for tuning in.